Hey guys, so I thought I would do a video on just how I'm keeping sort of sane. I don't know if actually I was sane before, so I don't know if that's fair to say, but I'm definitely trying to keep myself busy. I'm trying to keep myself off of a little bit off of social media unless it's doing research for something that I want to do, because I feel as though I watch the big announcements. I know what's happening in the world, and I know kind of what, like as far as like government funding, being self-employed, how it's going to impact my business and stuff like that. I feel like I kind of know the gist of that stuff, and I don't want to keep reminding myself of how serious this is and how scary it is, because it's not going to do me any good. As long as I'm keeping safe and I'm not going out of the house, and unless my husband's doing some shopping for food or whatever, I'm just staying in. Unless I go for a walk, I try and take Josh out for a walk. My mum's doing the same, going for walks now and then. And then I just stay off of the social media, apart from doing research and doing online courses and stuff, because I just don't think it's not gonna be good for my brain. So I've done this before, where I've kind of like compared. Everyone's brain is kind of like a garden shed, or a palace, if you like to call it like that, but basically, or a cupboard or something like that. We can only fit so much in our brains at one time, and if you fill it with things that are really negative, then that is going to be your overall general feeling. Is going to be a bad general feeling. If we try and fill up our days, our brains, our minds with things that are giving us joy and keeping us happy, then the overall feeling that we're going to have is of happiness and joy. So, things that I have done to try and keep myself motivated. I've thought about the things that I enjoy. So that's good in itself, because every day we wake up and we start the day, and there are so many little things that we may do that we don't even realize we're doing, that make us either happy or sad. So it is a really good time to assess and evaluate how happy we are in a day, and what kind of things we do that really we get a lot of pleasure out of. So for me, I have been enjoying things like, I, I've been having relaxing baths with bubble bath and candles when my little boy's gone to sleep. I have been spending more time trying out different makeup looks. So today I've gone for green and yellow, and there's actually orange there. And then I did pink lips, and I did different colours with my lips. So I tried contouring, because I was like, oh my God, I haven't ever contoured before. Like, I've seen people do it, and I literally like drew on the contour, and like, because I, got the time. I've done nail art courses. So this is one of the nail art courses that I did online, and they do things that are online, so you don't, you can still sit there and watch it off your screen. There are competitions you can enter. So I am a beauty therapist, but predominantly I do a lot of nails. And one of the competitions that one of the brands are doing is a Miss Sue competition, and they are doing 100 tips. So if you have plastic tips like this, sorry, my little boy's at the door. If you've got plastic tips like this that you practice on, you can order these off of Amazon as well. They're just tips, all right? And what you do with those is you stick them on. These are again from Amazon or eBay. You can use them on them, or you can have them, you can get them like this, so they're magnetized and they go onto here. I just dropped that on the floor, like that. But they're doing a competition, so I think you've got a couple of months, but you've got to do 100 nail art designs. And then at the end of those couple of months, they will give you a certificate, just to say that you've done it. You've completed their kind of course, if you like. So that's another thing. I've been doing things with my little boy, like going in the garden and trying to do a tick list of what insects we find, what bugs we find, and taking pictures as well. I've been doing that without Josh, actually. The pictures that I've been taking, I took a couple of pictures of things literally just in my front garden. It's not a big garden at all, but I'm trying to spend the time on the things I didn't have time for before, like enjoying a flower, walking along the, when we're going for our little walk, if I see a flower that I like, I'll take a picture of it so that then I can kind of look over the pictures in the day and see the beauty of the day, not just, all the negative stuff that's going on. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely feel my mood sinks when I see negative things on social media. If I see things about what's going on with somebody's health, or if I see someone talking about symptoms, or if I see someone on a machine, seeing someone in hospital, that just kills me. And no one can be oblivious to it. We're all aware of how dangerous this is, but I just don't feel like it's a very helpful thing to focus on it. Bad things are happening all over the world, and it really isn't going to help. Right now, we need to kind of create a bubble for ourselves to protect ourselves from this, because luckily for me and my family at the moment, my sister may have to be going into the front line, but at the moment we're all at home. That's all we have to do to keep to play our part, is to stay at home. Only do the things that they tell you that you can do. So as long as you're doing those things, then try and protect yourself from feeling the negativity of everything else if you can help it. That's what I would say. So the other thing that I've done that has made me feel positive is even when I'm getting dressed. I haven't done it so much today, actually. The first couple of days I really did, and I will do it. But this is a time to think about from the moment you get up. It's the sort of things you do as soon as you get up. So I always put the kettle on, and I always make myself a tea or a coffee. Start off with a tea, and then I move on to coffee throughout the day. And then I choose what I'm going to wear. And I know some people, obviously, if you're in jobs where you've got a uniform, then you have to wear certain things. Where we're not at work, this is the time to think about things that make us happy. So basically, like choosing clothes that make us happy, choosing makeup that makes us happy, wear perfume that makes us happy. I kind of feel like in any really dire time, I remember just my labour, and I remember thinking about how I could try to stay positive through labour, so that I wasn't going to be, I was going to keep that motivation, because obviously that's a really tough time and we don't have control over labour or anything like that. What will be with it, but we can do things to keep the process going. So first things first, I said to myself that I was never going to try. I was going to try to not say to myself that I couldn't do it. I was going to just keep saying I am doing it. And I think that same process can be used here, and we will do it. We will keep going. I am doing it. We are doing it. It is happening, and we are getting through it slowly but surely. So don't try to not think that we can't do it. We're not going to do it. And, try to, everything that you say to yourself, try to make it a positive, in your mind. Everything you're saying to yourself is a positive, I don't know if the word's affirmation, positive reinforcements. Remind yourself of the positivity, like keep being kind to yourself and saying nice things to yourself. So the other thing I was doing in my labour was I was looking through my book that I'd been given for my baby shower, and the book had all these positive notes in there that were like, like can't wait to meet you, and the reason why I was getting through this, doing this labour thing, this hardship, is because, so for this process I'm keep on just thinking, you could write it down, like all the things that you absolutely love that you can't wait to have when all of this is over, as long as it's not going to make you feel like you're completely missing them. Just think about all the things that we're doing this for. There is a reason for this, and it's a really important thing, and actually nothing good comes from, good things come from hard work, and this is just going to be one of those things, and we'll all be more grateful afterwards. The other thing I did in labour was I tried to really look after myself. I think when you're going through a hard time and you're feeling vulnerable, it's even more important to really, really look after yourself. It's almost like, you know, when you break up with a boyfriend or something and you're feeling really low, and you could decide to stay in bed if you wanted to, and your mind starts to say to yourself, oh, you're no good, and the reasons why this has happened is because, you know, you're rubbish, this and that. You know, don't let the negative voices start creeping in. Try to be doing things that make you feel good about yourself. So, you know, do maybe, if it makes you feel good, I mean, not everybody needs certain things to make themselves feel good, but I know for me, obviously I've got a little boy, so being with him, reading books with him, I get joy out of all of that. I get joy out of, we've just done Play-Doh. But if you don't have children, focus your energies in some other place that makes you feel joy. So for me, I also love doing nail art. I wanted to do resin work, so that's one of my things on my list to do, that I'm going to work on my resin and create gifts and things out of resin. I've been drawing, which I've never ever done before. I've been contacting people. I mean, they say isolation, but we can still ring people. Ring people that maybe you don't speak to enough because you don't have the time. Try to fill your cup up as well with being kind to other people, because that's real fulfillment there. That's the key to life, isn't it? That's the key to happiness in life, is you know, getting something out of just doing something for someone else, making someone else feel good. If you can leave something on someone's doorstep, if you can do a little picture in your window that says thank you to the bin men, do a little note to the bin men, the postman, like when you see them, say hello, say thank you to them, like for sticking it out. When we went for a walk, every single person that we saw, we waved to and we said have a good day, because it is those small things that will then just keep spiraling, and it will go on to the next person and the next person and the next person, and hopefully by the end of this we can become less like individuals and more like a team. We're doing all these individual little battles, but afterwards hopefully we'll be so relieved it's all over that we can merge together and become like a really strong pack. So yeah, I'm just want to say to everybody, also just remember that this is not going to be forever. Sometimes when you're in the you know, you're really in the thick of things, it feels as though it's like a black hole and you're never going to get out, but we will come out of this. It won't be forever. And you know, now luckily the government have said that self-employed people, we will also get help. So everyone's going to get a certain amount, and like Debbie said, or like one of my old tutors, Debbie, she said that, you know, yeah, you have got to put it in perspective. You've got you know, the government will be giving us certain help, 80%, and you're not going to have the outgoings that you had before, so you may not be spending money on going to the pub or doing this or doing that, or shopping, spending money on clothes that you don't need. I mean, for me, I love my nail stuff, and I have not been shopping for nail stuff because, you know, I haven't got the money in the bank, so I realise I don't need it. And then hopefully in a couple of months' time, I will get a payout and I'll be like, wow, now I'm rolling in it. And probably I'll get more and more obsessed about hoarding stuff, like, oh, I'll be even more grateful for the stuff that I get. But yeah, just enjoy what you've got. I mean, it just goes to show you, doesn't it, that you shouldn't save things for a special occasion. Bust out the big guns now. If you want to wear glitter in your hair, if you want to wear glitter on your eyes, you want to wear a neon top or a neon pair of shoes or whatever, there's no point in waiting. You've just got to just, you know, live each day like it's a party. Maybe not quite like a party, because we could all end up being alcoholics at the end of this, but just try to find the bits of pleasure that you enjoy in every minute and then hold on to those tightly. I mean, for me, I definitely feel like at the end of the day, before I go to bed, if I look on my camera roll and I see lots of things that make me happy, then it just makes me go to bed sort of a little bit better. I think before we go to bed, if we cram our heads full of these things that are quite stressful, then it's just not going to help you to get to sleep. We need to make sure we're getting good night's sleep. Have naps in the day as well. They say that's really good for you. In fact, they say that's really good for your memory. Don't let yourself get stale. Keep excited about every day when you wake up. Keep giving yourself projects. I always feel as though if when I go to bed I have in my mind a project that I'm going to do the next day, I'm much more likely to do it. If I think about what I'm going to do on the day, then for me it just doesn't really end up happening a lot of the time. But yeah, I definitely feel like if I say to myself, right, tomorrow morning we're going to do Play-Doh, we're going to go for a walk, and I'm going to do my nail art course that I wanted to do. I'm going to do a couple of nails. Then I wake up and I think, yes, I know what I'm already doing. Put a plan in place, just like you would make a date with a mate. Make a date, or an idea in your mind of what you're going to do. The other thing is utilize this as time to, there's like really good, even WhatsApp, right? I didn't even know this existed, but you can actually ring a couple of people at the same time, have one person in that corner, 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 and you can chat to all your friends. Now, I've got a couple of friends and we're all mums, and meeting up is freaking horrendous, and we have just found out that we can do this on WhatsApp. So it is an absolute joy. And you know what? We were playing games. So the other day we did a game on WhatsApp, so with the four of us, and I put a few objects under a piece of black material, and before I put them there, I held them up and I said, right, remember this. And it was like, they're wooden pieces of, they're different objects. So we had like one that it was in the shape of a farmer, but you can do it with banana, you can do a pen, you can do whatever, and then you put it under the blanket, or you can put it just on the side because no one else is going to see. And then as they call them out, you put them to the other side, and see how many your friends can remember. My friends, because they're really good, managed to remember them all. And it was also something that Josh really loved doing, because he was like, here you go, mummy, they've got farmer. So we put the farmer on the other side. So think about different ways you can do games and stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to go on anymore. That's enough for now. But stay positive, stay focused, and reach out. If you're needing some help, then talk about it. Don't suffer in silence. We all need to help each other through this. And, I know that our what we think of as our function in life is probably, we feel like it's probably gone at the moment. Or it's completely changed, but just go with it and try and literally like squeeze all the joy out of every second that you possibly can, and this will be over before you know it. Anyway, I'm sending tons of virtual kisses, cuddles, and love, positivity, and yeah, see you when it's all over. Bye.